The sun had barely begun to rise over the sprawling city, painting the skyline in hues of gold and crimson, when Aaron stepped out of his small apartment, the weight of unspoken dreams pressing on his shoulders like a relentless tide. The streets were already alive with the rhythm of life, vendors shouting their wares, children chasing each other through narrow alleys, and the scent of freshly baked bread mixing with the metallic tang of the morning air. But Aaron's mind was elsewhere, tangled in thoughts of purpose, of destiny, of a life that seemed just out of reach, shimmering on the edge of possibility like a mirage in a desert, and he walked with a strange combination of hesitation and determination, each step echoing in the hollow chambers of his heart, because today was the day he had promised himself he would take the first real leap, the first step into a world that was bigger, brighter, and infinitely more terrifying than the confines of his routine. He had spent years observing, learning, waiting for some sign, some signal that the universe was ready to hand him the key to a life worth living, and though most people would have scoffed at his obsession, calling him dreamer or fool, Aaron felt the pulse of something extraordinary humming beneath the mundane, as if fate itself had begun to stir, whispering secrets only he could hear, and he couldn't ignore it any longer. The small cafe at the corner of Harmony Street and Fifth Avenue became his temporary sanctuary, the one place where the chaos of the outside world softened into a steady rhythm, the clinking of cups and the murmurs of conversation a comforting soundtrack as he sipped the bitter warmth of coffee, the liquid fire igniting a spark of courage within him, for today was not just any day, it was the beginning of the journey that could change everything, and as he opened his notebook, the pages blank and expectant, he felt a strange, exhilarating thrill of possibility coursing through his veins like electricity, compelling him to write, to create, to manifest the story that had lived in his mind for so long, the story that would demand his full courage, resilience, and imagination. Yet even as he wrote, doubts crept in like shadows in a sunlit room, whispering fears of failure, of ridicule, of the unbearable sting of dreams deferred, but Aaron pressed on, because he understood that fear was not a sign to stop but a signal to move forward with even greater resolve, and as the cafe door swung open, letting in a rush of crisp morning air, a figure stepped inside, someone entirely unexpected yet somehow familiar, with eyes that seemed to pierce through the veil of ordinary existence, and that moment, simple yet monumental, set off a chain reaction that would pull Aaron into a world of challenges, revelations, and encounters so profound they would test the very limits of his courage. And as he looked up from his notebook, a small smile tugging at the corner of his lips, he realized that life, in all its unpredictable glory, was offering him a chance not just to witness change but to become it, to step into a story far bigger than himself, and he felt a quiet but unwavering determination solidify in his chest, a promise to himself and to the universe that he would not let fear dictate his journey, that he would face every obstacle, every heartbreak, every victory with open eyes and a steadfast heart, for he understood something essential: the world belongs to those brave enough to pursue it relentlessly. And even now, as the first page of this new chapter unfurled before him, Aaron knew that he was on the brink of something extraordinary, something that could inspire others, something that could echo beyond the confines of time and space. And in that moment, as he glanced at the cafe's entrance, ready to take the first literal and metaphorical step into the unknown, he felt a surge of gratitude for every person, every lesson, every struggle that had led him here, and he leaned back, took a deep breath, and whispered to himself, "This is it," unaware that the coming days would challenge him in ways unimaginable, testing his spirit, his resolve, and his belief in himself, but also revealing to him a truth he would never forget: that courage, once summoned, can light a fire strong enough to illuminate the darkest path. And for anyone watching this story unfold, Aaron's journey is a reminder that you too can rise, take the first step, and become the hero of your own life. And if you want to witness the full journey, every twist, every lesson, every triumph, make sure to subscribe now and join the adventure, because the story is just beginning, and you don't want to miss a single heartbeat of it. The days that followed were unlike anything Aaron had ever imagined, as the world he had stepped into revealed itself in layers of complexity and danger, each moment brimming with lessons and opportunities, forcing him to confront not only external obstacles but the inner shadows he had long avoided. He found himself navigating streets that seemed to shift and twist according to the rhythm of fate, encountering allies who challenged his thinking and adversaries who tested his courage, and through every encounter, he realized that life was not a series of neatly packaged victories but a storm of choices, risks, and consequences that demanded his full attention and his unflinching commitment to growth. For each decision he made rippled outward in ways he could never fully predict, touching the lives of strangers, shaping the paths of friends, and even altering the trajectory of his own dreams. And with every misstep, every failure, and every small triumph, he felt the invisible threads of destiny tightening, weaving a tapestry that was both breathtaking and terrifying, as if the universe itself were teaching him that greatness required persistence, patience, and an unwavering belief in oneself. There were moments of exhaustion, moments when doubt clawed at the edges of his mind, whispering that he was not enough, that he lacked the skills, the wisdom, or the courage to continue. Yet it was precisely in those moments that Aaron discovered the hidden reservoirs of resilience he had never known, realizing that fear was not a wall but a doorway, that uncertainty was not a curse but a call to step forward anyway. And as he began to embrace this new understanding, he noticed subtle shifts in the people around him, small gestures of encouragement, the quiet recognition of his effort, and the unspoken bond of those who had themselves walked through fire and emerged stronger, reminding him that no one achieves transformation alone, and that seeking guidance, offering help, and sharing wisdom were as much a part of true growth as personal courage. And as the sun dipped behind the horizon, casting the city in a soft amber glow, Aaron paused on a bridge overlooking the river that cut through the heart of the metropolis, reflecting on the journey so far, the battles won and lost, the lessons learned, and the infinite possibilities still waiting, and he felt a surge of clarity. Life's purpose is not measured by comfort or ease, but by the depth of experience, the courage to embrace uncertainty, and the willingness to keep moving forward even when the path is unclear. And in that reflective moment, he turned to the audience, as if speaking directly to each person watching, reminding them that they too have a journey worth pursuing, that every challenge they face is an opportunity to rise, to transform, and to shine, and that subscribing to this channel is more than just a click. It is a commitment to witness, learn, and grow alongside stories of courage, resilience, and extraordinary human spirit, because every story matters, every lesson has the power to change lives, and by staying connected, viewers become part of a community that celebrates determination, creativity, and the unrelenting pursuit of dreams. And as Aaron stepped off the bridge and back into the bustling streets, ready to face the next chapter of his adventure, he carried with him a renewed sense of purpose, knowing that the journey ahead would challenge him in ways unimaginable, but also knowing that each step, each choice, each brave act would bring him closer to the person he was always meant to become, and that his story, and the stories of those who dared to follow, had the power to inspire countless others to take their own first step into the extraordinary.